Good morning. Thank you, Sheriff Rowe and members of the Jail Commission for allowing me another opportunity to speak to you again. Today I want to speak again about notification of families regarding death or serious illness of a loved one in a jail. Or rather, I want to speak about the lack of notification, as there currently is no standard requiring a jail to contact a family whenever a person dies or suffers illness. I know this with first-hand experience, being robbed of precious time I could have had with my son after he suffered a medical emergency in the Bexar County Jail. I was bounced from person to person pleading for information while he sat on life support in a local hospital. I had no idea my son was in jail that morning until my sister came to tell me, because she had already processed the bail bond for him, but little did we know that the bond didn't go through because he was no longer in the jail facility. We still didn't know that was already 7 p.m. at night. My son was critically injured at 8:06 a.m. and I was notified closer to 9:30 p.m. by the most unsympathetic person on the other end, making me feel so dumb with all the answers that I was giving him for the questions he was asking. Then he said, wait for another call with more information. He was very rude. Then we had to call them to find out why they called me. Then I had to go get a special permit to be allowed to go to the hospital. It was all a waste of time, precious time that was stolen from me to sit next to my son. The worst is when the jail sends press release to the news stations, the news of loved ones of a loved one who is critically injured and is in the process of passing before giving me time to let my family know. That is disgusting. We are robbed of that as well. It was a process of a few more days as my son's organs had to be donated. They couldn't wait a few more days. I wish this was an isolated story of one person falling through the cracks, but it's not. But it's not an exception, it's the norm. There are countless of stories of loved ones, legal next of kin, who learn about death of their relative on the news or from other incarcerated persons, of families who are contacted not when their loved one is transferred to the ICU, but rather when they've been admitted for weeks and the medical team would like to discuss goals of treatment. Whenever families are notified late, this creates enormous amounts of mistrust, which is hard to move past. In the case of a death, how is a family supposed to believe anything a jail tells them when a jail couldn't be bothered to call you immediately? What kind of news? With that kind of news. In the case of illness, how should a family think that a hospital, doctors, or nurses have their best interest of next of kin? This is such an obvious standard. It's remarkable that it doesn't already exist. I never go over my 3 minutes, but today I want to say, Judge Sakai and San Antonio, I'm glad you're here to witness. I wish you were here more often. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Chris, you gonna do?